So students, can you tell me what is freedom for you? What does freedom mean? Getting up at your own time, having your own schedule, not bound by your routine. Is that freedom for you? Yes? Can anyone tell me what is the true meaning of freedom? When do we really understand that, yes, I am a free person? Can anyone tell me what it means to be truly free? Yes? When you are given the respect, the dignity you are deserved, is that freedom? Or freedom is that, yes, you don't have any time restrictions at home and you can go and come whenever you please. That is freedom? Yes? To act without any constraints. Yes, Manpreet, correct. Okay, you are there. Now, like here, when we talk about freedom in our, you can say, political context, or what we have read about in our the will and the freedom to decide, or the will to decide, yes, that I can do this and I can do that. You're a free person. And when you have, when we talk about our freedom, we have so many things that we want to talk about. Our freedom of expression, yes, the freedom to do any kind of work that we want to, the freedom to live with dignity and respect, yes. And do you all know that this freedom here, that in your own country, when you are free, you have the right to speak up, you have the right to vote, you have the right to be heard. That is true freedom. But we all know it was not always like this. This freedom has come after a long struggle. This freedom has come after a lot of sacrifices, many lives lost, many movements took place, right? And then we were able to get this freedom, right? Yes. And now we really have to understand that what is this freedom about? Yes, freedom is the will to decide. Freedom is nobody stopping you from doing that. Is it only about yourself, or is it about others also? When we are free, do we think about ourselves, like I can do this, but what about others? Do we allow others also that freedom? Yes. So when we are free, we should respect our freedom. We should respect the freedom of others. That is when we will truly understand the meaning. And if in our freedom here, and if our understanding of freedom, what do? We create a fear in somebody else's mind. Then I won't let you step out. You can't come in this lane. You can't roam around here. You can't do this. You can't do that. Is that freedom? No. So freedom is there. It is same for all. Freedom cannot be, yes, you get this much of liberty and the other gets that much of liberty. So freedom is the same for all. In this chapter here, we are going to read about, yes, it's about freedom. So when we are free, we want self-respect. Yes, we want dignity. We want equality. We wanted to be treated as a respectful citizen. And yes, everyone in our country has the right to stand up, to speak for themselves, to have the courage to stand up against anything that is wrong. Now, who do you think here is a person who can be a leader? Yes? What do you think about? Who do you think is a person who is capable of becoming a leader? When we think about our freedom fighters, right? Exceptional people. What qualities do you think they had that we don't have? So what do you think are the qualities here of a leader? They're brave, they're courageous, they wanted dignity, they wanted self-respect, they wanted that recognition in their own country. Isn't it right? Yes. And here, who can be a leader? Is it necessary you have to be highly educated? You have to have this long list of academic qualifications, only then you qualify to be a leader? Is it? Can an illiterate peasant be a leader? If he feels injustice is happening, feels something is wrong, if he is there motivating others, leading others, they think he has the quality of a leader. You see, if he is able to unite people along with him, if he is able to make others realize that this is wrong. So yes, so it is not necessary here. You have to be right, of course, very qualified. But if you feel injustice is happening, if anyone is standing up for any kind of injustice happening, you see someone there misbehaving with someone on the road, you stand up for that. You stood up because you have courage, right? Maybe there were 10 other people, but they did not. You stood up. So anyone who dares, anyone who has the courage to stand up against wrong is a leader. Now, in this chapter, Indigo, we are going to read about our freedom struggle. And this small episode, we can say it was the trigger for the whole freedom movement. It's a small episode that happened, but it brought about a big change. It brought about a change among the Indians that they have self-respect, they have dignity, they can stand up for their rights. It taught a lesson to the Britishers that they cannot order someone around in their own country. These are the things that we are going to learn in this chapter. We're going to read in this chapter, okay? And before I start, as I continue with the summary of this chapter, let me see. Where I find it. So I just want you to watch this very short video, which which one is it? Chapter 5. Indigo. Just a minute. This is very short video which I had selected for you all to see. It's very sad if it's not showing. This is in Hindi. I'll just see to it.
Writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can help. This sentence is grammatically correct.
बिहार के एक जिले चंपारण में गोरख
Now here, I'll just show you a little video, and of course here we'll just try to understand here. This chapter, Indigo, what is it about? As I told you, it is about the beginning of the freedom movement. It's about a small incident that happened in the village, you can say in this remote area of Champaran, right? And what was the system over there? It was that the Britishers, they were the landlords. This is like maybe an extract from the movie Gandhi. And the Britishers, they had this system of sharecropping. And what is sharecropping? So you can, I'll be sharing this video with you all in your WhatsApp group, okay? And we'll minutes if I open it. Yeah. Okay. So today, as I have said a number of times, and I'm just saying that again, that we're going to start off with the chapter Indigo. It is about the struggle of our independence. And as I told you, anyone can become a leader. Here in this chapter, what has been discussed, it is an extract from the freedom struggle and how our freedom movement, it gained so much of momentum, right? And how did it happen was that an illiterate peasant, that was Rajkumar Shukla, right? He had heard about Mahatma Gandhi and he came all the way to meet him at Lucknow and told him that there is a problem among the farmers of Champaran. Now, before we continue with this, I want you to understand one very important term, that is sharecropping. What happened during the British rule was that the British, they were the landlords, and the Indian peasants, they were as the tenants. They had to work on those farms, which the Britishers owned. The land was owned by them, and the Indian peasants worked on them. And the peasants' condition was very, very miserable, right? And what was there? There was a system that 15% of their land, they had to grow the commercial crop. And at that time, the commercial crop was indigo, right? And what was the commercial crop for? For sale, for money. And the peasants, they had to grow that commercial crop along with whichever crop that they were growing according to the season, right? And the money and that whole commercial crop, whom did they have to give it to? They had to give it to the Britishers, right? Yes, is it clear or not? Right? So they had to give it to the Britishers. Now, what had happened was, earlier indigo, it is a plant, and jisko meal kehte hain, meal, you know what that is? Like right nowadays we have the synthetic one. Earlier it was a powdery thing, and you like to give that color, right? So it was there grown in the fields, but now what had happened? Germany had developed synthetic indigo, right? That means it was much cheaper and it was more easily available, and it was not like other crops, yes, going to be subjected to all the terrible weather conditions or the changing things, right? So it was there produced or made up in the factories, so it was much cheaper. So that indigo was there in the market, and now nobody was buying that commercial crop. Who's going to buy the natural indigo when they have something much cheaper? So what happened was that the peasants, they were stuck with that crop. No one was buying it. So what did they want to be, done? That they should be released from this sharecropping system. Why should they grow a crop which nobody wants? So when they spoke to the landlords, that was the Britishers, and instead of, allowing them to be released from this situation, what did the landlord say? That they had to pay them money if they wanted to stop growing indigo. Many of the peasants, because they were illiterate, they were not aware of the laws and the rules and the regulations. So they, agreed to all the terms and conditions. But some of the farmers, they protested. Now, those farmers, they protested. What happened to them? They were forced to sign these agreements for their release. And the Britishers, what did they do? The landlords, they called their thugs, they called their powerful people, and with force, they were trying to convince the, the people here, or they were convincing the farmers that you have to continue with this practice. Now the farmers are in a very difficult situation. They should be paid compensation because they are paying that, or they're giving that commercial crop. But poor farmer already, he does not have money. And where is he going to get that money to be released from this system? Now, all this time, while all this was happening, Mahatma Gandhi, we all know about his role in the freedom movement. So he had come to India back, from South Africa, where he had made a lot of efforts for the farmers. And word had spread that there is this person who can help you, who worked for the farmers and who is a Mahatma. He can work for you also. So now imagine here this person, that is Rajkumar Shukla. See, we do not remember the name of any other farmer. We do not remember the name of any other peasant. Whom do we remember? We remember the name of that one leader among so many millions of peasants. We remember Rajkumar Shukla because he had the courage to stand up against what is wrong. So he went there, he decided to go and meet the leaders there. He decided to meet Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi was at Lucknow, right? So he was attending that convention. And so he told him that you must come to my place, Champaran, and the farmers are in big problem over there. And Mahatma Gandhi, he thought that this person is there, is quite, simple, illiterate peasant, and he might not, and he said that, see, I'm going to reach Kolkata on this date, for the convention, and then I'll come to your place, right? And to his surprise, after so many months, Rajkumar Shukla was there waiting for him at the railway station. He thought this man must have forgotten. And that was when he realized that man is really very serious. He wants something to be done about the condition of the farmers. So now one thing led to another. And this whole, episode, it was also sort of awakening for Mahatma Gandhi that I cannot allow outsiders to tell me what I am to do in my country, right? So here it is, how all the farmers, they gathered courage. They joined this struggle. They joined the movement. And they could get the system of sharecropping abolished. And not only that, this small step, it was such a big trigger that it brought about a big change in the condition of the lives of the farmers, right? So here we learn that how, yes, Mahatma Gandhi, he wanted to go and meet the farmers. He was not allowed to go over there. Was not allowed to go over there. And right, he was sent to prison. How he brought the awakening among the peasants, right? And not only the peasants, the lawyers also, because the lawyers were also there. They were creating that fear among the minds of the peasants that, see, you cannot do this. And so he wanted to make the people realize that anyone can go and seek justice, right? So he wanted to create that kind of atmosphere among the people that if you stand up, you speak up for your rights, you will get them. So how will we know something is wrong unless and until we do not stand up, unless we do not raise our voice against it. This is what this chapter is about. And what I say, if this chapter, it is just an incident which happened at that time, here, even nowadays, it is important. Because even now we are afraid of standing up and raising our voice against injustice. Yes, so we are going to do a little bit of history. We are going to do a little bit of moral values, so many things in this chapter. We are going to read about the civil disobedience, which we have done. We're going to read about Satyagraha, right? So we'll be talking about all these things. So what I want you people to do is that, yes, just get back into that mode of studies, right? Clear? Am I clear to you all? Right? So we are going to start with this chapter. And as I start here, yes, I want you to read a little bit about Indigo. I want you to refresh about the Champaran movement. I want you to recollect what is the civil disobedience. What is Satyagraha? Can we apply that today? Is it applicable? Right? And do you think the values, the things which the peasants wanted so many years ago, are we still, like fighting for them? Do we have that courage? Do we have self-respect? Do we have dignity? Right? Do we have freedom? And after we have read this chapter, we will realize the true meaning of freedom. Okay? So a small incidence from a freedom movement, it had a wide-ranging impact. It had, yes, it had not only the social impact that we are talking about, this political impact here, but it brought about a big change. And what made our freedom movement a success was that it was a mass movement. People from the masses were involved. Yes, the peasants were involved. And when any movement, it spreads, it reaches the grassroots level, only then it can become a success, right? So yes, so tomorrow I'm going to start with the reading of the chapter, and I want you to just go through the text. Any doubts, any questions, any problems? Yes, anyone?